All right, let me know if you guys can hear me. Loud and clear, beautiful. Yeah, we're going to be looking at more melted buildings today. More mud flood ruins. I'm going to try to keep my voice down. My volume on my mic is hot today. I'm going to keep my voice down so that I could preserve it. Much love to all of you. Looks like we got about 100 people in here. I'm just going to say hi to some people real quick. Diego, how are you doing? Liberty Prime, Craig, Universe Creator, True Anarchist, Damien, Crypto Bear, Cindy, how are you? Hope all is well. David, appreciate you checking in. Evan, hope you're doing well, brother. So I didn't take my last live stream down. It's just available for people who are in the Mastermind community on Patreon. The reason for that is because the context of most of the stuff we discuss is definitely gonna trigger a lot of parasites out there in YouTube land, and we just don't want to deal with that. So luckily they're even available to the public to begin with. Soon I'm probably just going to keep these all private just because it's so much better. So much better. Not having as many trolls. How's it going, Jay? Happy man. Kevin, Seeker66. Roselli, much love to you. Jody, how are you doing today? Sending you love. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling good. I am feeling... This market has been working out so beautifully for all of us. We're just chilling. We're just chilling. It's so nice. It's so nice to just have this market go the direction you're seeking. Okay, it looks like we got about 200 people in here pretty quickly. That's beautiful. Last time I remember we had about 500 people watching at the same time. That was amazing. That was a huge jump from the last one. So channel's grown quite a bit. Could talk a little more about that. Nicole, much love. Oscar, appreciate all you guys. Yeah, my mic is definitely an upgrade. Anyone who's been following my work since the beginning, I remember I believe my mastermind course, most of my mastermind course material, and my my first couple months on YouTube, I was just using my regular laptop speakers for the microphone. And then we had in the summertime all those cicadas, like a really bad cicada, the 17-year cicada. If you live in the States, especially on the East Coast, you'll know what I'm talking about. But oh man, I'm sure Evan and Jody and David and a bunch of OG OG subs from the beginning, it was rough when those cicadas came. It was so hard to have clear audio, but I had to upgrade, and I'm glad that I upgraded because this mic is really, really nice. Hermano Bronco says Bronx in the house. That's what's up. I used to spend my weekends in the Bronx. Maggie, hope you're well. Okay, we have a lot of people in here. That's great. Yeah, I always save the lives unless they get taken down, but I always repost the lives for the Discord, so whenever people are in the mastermind community, you could watch the live stream whenever you want. No rush there. Also soon on the Discord, I'm going to do this maybe closer to November, but I want to add a section for it'll be a section for every country. Like we'll break it down into threads, probably for Asia, just the continents, and then within there we'll try to get sub threads, because I would love to know, like, globally who's following my work. Not for any cathartic reasons, but just for communication with people in the future when it will be needed, if you know what I'm talking about, because we have strength in numbers. So I've been having a lot of people finding my work in Eastern Europe lately. Shout out to all my Ukrainian and Czech and Slovenian and all my brothers and sisters over there in that side of the world. I've been having a lot of people join. Oh man, just all over. It's really beautiful. And I would love to somewhat like bring this all together, especially in the bear market, when there's going to be a lot of people working with a lot of capital that they've never had ever in their lives, and to be able to utilize that capital to rebuild the shitty society that we're living in at this time. If you live in a place right now that's unscathed by this past year or so, congratulations, that's really great. I would also suggest anyone to go to places where you're treated best, of course. But for those of you that are sticking to where you are, even if it's in a little bit of bad vibes, some turmoil, wherever you are, because of maybe family or friends you have, I completely understand that. And, for you, it's going to be all about developing businesses to have a better world in your local environment. I do understand that ultimately there's some things we have no control over, because the New World Order has essentially parasited every step of the process, from birth certificates all the way down to your funeral. But you know what I'm talking about. It'd be really nice to have more people to know who in our community is closest to you, and we could be seeing a lot of partnerships in the future. I would love to make that happen. And just because I've had so many people joining my work from outside of the States, you probably all know that I'm from the States. So I have a lot of people here following my work naturally, just because of the YouTube algorithm, but lately it's been exploding into New Zealand and Australia, and it's just so beautiful to see. So it'd be great to have people to, like, if you're one of those people that you feel like you're a lone wolf and no one in your immediate circle feels the way you do about how things are going, you're going to be able to find someone that might be close to you and could be your next best friend. Best wolf bud. So I just wanted to start out with that, kind of bring us all together, like, I feel like at times like this, I'm like 10 times more focused on the energy rather than the market. It's like almost like this community has the market on the back of our hand, like we've been so accurate, and it's not just about me, it's just the whole community as a whole has been thriving to see the bigger picture of what's going on here. And that's really powerful, It's a really powerful thing to have so many people that are just calm and patient and letting any of these volatile moves to the downside be looked at and perceived as buying opportunities. And the same thing goes that if you're in a coin that has done 10,000% gains, sometimes it's time to de-risk. These are topics and concepts that a lot of people overlook just because of the idea of, I suppose, how they get manipulated through the socials. That seems to be one of the number one ways that it occurs. Yeah, we're not going to talk about China today. There's no need to. Banning Bitcoin is impossible. It's literally impossible. You'd have to shut down the internet. And if they shut down the internet, then all of your other favorite tokens go down. So it's irrelevant. It's bullshit. Like all things in this market, they talk about these instances when it was all in the charts showing itself weeks, months in advance, and we were able to identify that. And when the day comes, then people have this reason, but ultimately it doesn't actually matter, because when you're in a bull run, there's no FUD that could bring this market down any more than the structure in the chart. The same thing goes when we're in a bear market. It's so easy to bring a chart down because the energy's on the downside. What's up, Jack Paulo? Digital Print House. Much love over to you in Denmark. How's it going, Nas? It's beautiful to get so many people up in here. We'll run into a question soon, something important that we could consider. So that's a good question. Stardust Avatar says, one time you said Donda was a Saturn ritual. Can you go deeper into that? So sure, but I'll preface this with, so Kanye West's last album, Donda, it's very obvious what it is. The album cover itself is a black square, and that black square comes back to the cube of Saturn, or you would see it popularly at Mecca, the black cube, sometimes referred to as Metatron's cube. But to not get overly complex here, the ritual at all three listening events that Kanye West did were pretty much setting you up for the grand idea. And at the first one, it was just a white canvas on the bottom, and he was wearing all red. So this is telling you something, because all red in... let's just say that it's all about blood ritual and blood sacrifice. So it's trying to tell you a little bit of a story here. It's that there's a void of whiteness below, and the character, the person who you're giving the most energy to, is the ritual itself. And then the next live stream the next live listening event transitioned into him being on a bed in the middle of the stage. He was dressed in all black, and he had people circling him. Just like at Mecca, you circle the black cube. So what this is telling you is he was once a sacrifice, or took place in sacrifices to get to his position. And it was one of the worst live listening events of all time. It was terrible. It was very badly put together. And I don't want to lose too many people's attention talking about this subject, but I think it could be eye-opening for you to see how the elites do what they do, and how sometimes they're forced into doing the things they do. It's pretty interesting stuff. This, I don't want to jump around too much, but I was at a hotel recently, and I was watching Family Guy, like just as a joke, just because it was something that was to keep my mind from always working, because that's what I'm always doing. And anyways, watching it for a couple shows, and in the middle of it, there was a commercial with Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it was like a car insurance commercial with Shaquille O'Neal. Like, this guy's one of the most famous athletes ever. And he's retired now, and he's doing car insurance commercials. And it shows you that these elites aren't as powerful as you think they are. They are sock puppets who are controlled. And anyways, getting back to Kanye West, this ritual on the second live stream event of people walking around him in the circle while he's wearing all black is the same thing that is being done at Mecca. And if you start to decode Mecca, like the actual, the coordinates of where that is on this quote-unquote earth, you will be able to see the numbers right in front of your face. The population of that area, everything is ritualized. Nothing that you read on Wikipedia is fact. It's all just numbers being given to us to show us the code, and very few people are able to wake up to this code. Now, Kanye West being 44 years old, this brings up even more importance behind this ritual and the reason why this album came out at this time. So at the last live stream event, it was him in his home, his rebuilt childhood home, and they were again circling him while everyone was wearing all black. Then the album cover got changed at the last minute from being a picture of his mom, Donda, to being an actual picture of a black cube. Then if you look at the merchandise of this show, the merchandise had the Solomon star, what is called the Star of David, and also a crucifix. This is really interesting symbology, the merger here, because he says that he's a Christian, but then at the same time he has a Solomon star on this merchandise. Gets your mind to open up to who's running the show here. It's Kabbalah. It is Talmudic high-level Jesuit / I don't even like talking about religions, honestly, because it's so low level. No offense to anyone who practices a religion, but just learn that the word of religion can be broken down and tell you a little bit more about what's going on. Religion means, it stems from religare, and religare means to bind together. That's all it's doing. It's binding people together, and it's typically binding the type of person who's the most unconscious in a society together. Kind of like the idea of democracy. It seems like it's fair, but until you analyze that the people who are voting are all buffoons. And then you get the results of a bunch of buffoons. The smartest people in a society don't want leaders. They don't want masters. They want freedom. They want control over their own reality. They don't seek idols and idol worship. That's why when we enter the space of cryptocurrency, it's so easy for people to get caught up in this idol worship. And it's quite hilarious, too, how well it works. Just look at the way people treat people like Justin Sun and Elon Musk and Brad Garlinghouse and Charles Hoskinson. It's so easy for people to fall into the trap thinking that these guys are good because the coin goes up in value. But guess what? The coin also goes down in value substantially. I'm sure in 2016, Vitalik Buterin was somebody's god because they were able to buy a coin at $15 and then watch it go to $1,400. But then at the end, that coin lost 95% of its value. And then Ethereum went from, Vitalik went from being somebody's god to somebody's Satan. Think about how quickly it could all flip like that. So people are always happy when they're on the right side of the manipulation, but when they're on the wrong side of the manipulation, they start taking it personally, as if it was to offend or hurt them. It's really interesting, right? Because so many people get sucked into the XRP community because of this stuff. The XRP community has a lot of these characters, like the people in the SEC or people tied to Ripple, and they're disregarding the fact here that the people who run the show are invisible. You cannot see them. You don't know who they are. They might not even hold human form. They are archons. They are way bigger than a man. So think about that. When you give up all of your juice, when you give up all of your power to a human, you notice that when they fail you, now you feel this betrayal, but you don't even know them. You don't know them personally. You don't know Elon Musk and his intentions. Think about it. So many things to say. Let's move on to some questions. Wow, almost 600 people. Incredible. I think the worst question to get when you're looking through the comments is, what's the end of the year XRP target? That is like poison. Jesus. Okay, let's move on. Trying to keep it high vibes. John, over in Melbourne, Australia, much love to you, brother. Jester, much love to you. Bin Dojo, much love. Let's see what's going on here. Got some people from Turkey in the house. I appreciate you. So that's a pretty good crypto question. I'm going to answer this one crypto question, and then I'm going to try to move on. So Abdullah, much love to you over in Turkey, brother, says, so what do you think we won't see Bitcoin below 40K again? So here's the thing, okay? On my Patreon, I already gave people the evidence as to why Bitcoin will not go below 38K. Now, the question of 40K and why it keeps like resurfacing, the same way of this idea of XRP going back to 86 cents and this question keeps coming up and up. So I'm just going to squash it here, all right? If you guys believe in a project, right? If you believe in XRP or Bitcoin or Polkadot or whatever it is, and it breaks structure and starts heading to the downside, will you buy the dip? Now, that's all that matters. Whether WatersAbove thinks Bitcoin's going to go below 40K or fucking if XRP is going to go below 80 cents, it does not that's the wrong question, everyone. Let's move past that stuff because we're in crypto, guys. Bitcoin can go to 38K in a single hourly candle and then tomorrow be at 50K. It's possible, okay? And the full moon is very good at doing that. So we've proven that time and time again on this channel. Again, even when people are trolling the idea of the moons, we see the moon come back, the full or new moon, and it does exactly what we've been saying it would do month after month. So let's just not overthink things. You know, right now, it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin goes to 39 or 40 or it's really just we're splitting hairs with this sort of mentality. Bitcoin came down today to 41 something. That was your opportunity. XRP came back to 88 cents. That was your opportunity. Now, did you take that opportunity or did you just stare at the charts waiting for me to make a video to tell you what to do? Because I feel like that's what people tend to do with these YouTube personalities. They're waiting to be told what to do. And I've been making less videos on purpose because I'm making these longer, much more. I give a very thorough breakdown of the possibilities, more importantly focusing on the probabilities of where coins are going to go. Now, if we just focus on the TA and not get too caught up in all the news, we would be able to like just take action when these times come, and we don't have to overthink things too much. Like when I wake up and I see red, I buy. I don't need any bias because I know how to read the charts. I don't need to wait for somebody else to tell me what to think. And that's what I've been trying to help people do on this channel. Just letting you know, like, hey, this shit can go up, down, sideways, left, it doesn't matter what direction it goes. If you trust in the process and you believe that we are currently in a bull run cycle, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to take place in that dip and actually buy it? Or are you just going to stand there with sweaty hands, like wondering, what's going to happen? Is this the end of the bull run? You know, that's the shit that people struggle with at these stages. So I try telling people weeks in advance, like, hey, we're probably going to get this move around this time, and it's going to be dramatic. Now, I know what I'm going to be doing when that time comes. So I think these are more important. The more important questions here lie in what will you do? What will you do? Not whether if we'll break 40K or if XRP will go to 70 cents. It's like, it's all just opportunity. And if you don't think it's an opportunity and you're scared, then maybe you shouldn't be in this bull run and you should wait for the next one. And I'm sure if you go back to 2017, anyone who's lived through the 2017 cycle, there was like 8 or 9 separate times where Bitcoin came down to the 21-week exponential moving average. And every single time there was new news that came out that allegedly made that happen. But in actuality, it was all bullshit. Every time Bitcoin came down to that 21 weekly exponential was a buying opportunity. And there was China FUD saying that Bitcoin was banned in 2017 also. Okay? I'm just looking through some questions. 650 people. That's incredible. Oh my God. Shirag. Do you have any plans to help the unjabbed community in the future if it gets really bad? Aren't I doing that now? The reason I'm focused on what I'm doing right now, everyone, is to help people financially so that they can set themselves up for more freedoms when the collapse comes. I'm already doing my part. Like, when the shit hits the fan, that's not up to me. That's up to you. I was the guy who prepared you for it to come. Like, I remember 2 years ago, I was telling people, we're going to have QR codes at airports for vaccines. And people were like, oh, that's bullshit. It's never going to happen. And then it happened. And then now it's like, what do you want me to tell you? That I told you so? Or were you just closed-minded when I was warning you 2 years early? You know? So this is the thing. I'm just warning everyone about Shemitah way before it comes. And I'm trying to set up all of my supporters to be part of the craziest wealth transfer ever. And then when the shit hits the fan, it's on you. Like, don't expect me to be there to, like, help even more than I already have. Like, how much more could I possibly do? You feel me? Like, here's the problem, right? It's like the story of the Noah flood, right? Noah, when the water was up to your ankles, Noah was like, yo, there's a fucking flood coming. And everyone's like, you're an idiot, Noah. And then when the water was up to their chests, they were partying and they were still like in disbelief. And Noah's just sitting over there building his fucking ark, taking care of shit. Like, I'm with you guys as Noah, and you guys just so happen to wake the fuck up when most people aren't, and you're preparing your ark. You're getting your animals on board. You're getting yourself prepared. But when the flood comes, what am I going to do? I'm going to be on that boat sailing away. You know, like, what do you want me to, why does everyone want to wait till the last fucking minute to get help when they weren't paying attention and had their ears open when somebody was trying to help you before it became a problem? That's like, I love flipping that question on people, especially enlightened people, because enlightened people, like, they get it, but a lot of the time it's just confidence. You know, they don't have the confidence. They don't believe in themselves. And because they don't believe in themselves, they lack the ability to take action when these moments come. Whether that means if you are leaving your community early because you're trying to protect yourself from some changes, or if it's something like preparing yourself financially because you might lose your job. You're the one who does all that work. You're going to have to be the one that does that. Yeah, yo, Evan. So Evan says something important. He says the black cube on the rabbi's head too. So yeah, that's actually Evan, and maybe you could chime in a little bit more about this if you're aware. I know Ian. I don't know if Ian's on this live stream, but so the wrapping around the arm that the Hasidim do and the black cube on the forehead, that's protecting for the mark of the beast. So why are they aware of the mark of the beast? Because they created the mark of the beast. And what they're doing is they have certain people who will take part of it and certain people who will never take part of it because of bloodlines. So yeah, the black cube on the forehead, on the pineal body, is done on purpose. I'm getting some of the super chats in, so I'm just going to catch up on those. Yes, we will keep this live up. No, I don't give a shit about NFTs. Yeah, I've watched Europa, The Last Battle, many times. It's an amazing documentary. Everyone here should watch Europa, The Last Battle. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like, if you're going to waste your time on any movie, it's that. You definitely want to. So David says, where are the portals to get the hell out of here? The portals are in your heart. The portal to get out of the problem is already there. It's within you already. It's inside of your chest, your heart. Because when you close your eyes and go to sleep, the world around you fades away. You are the universe. You're actually the universe. The one song, the one frequency, the one sound. And everything exists because of you. You are gods and goddesses. Wow, 700 people. That's insane. All right, I'm trying to get up to these super chats, but it's pretty difficult. Oh, there you go. So Stephen Ulrich, I am so grateful for your support. Thank you. Wow. Says, thanks for all you do. Your work has changed my life. Love you all. Sending you some good vibes. A couple thousand Vitho is the least I could do. Wow. That really means a lot to me. I really appreciate that, Stephen. Just to hear that my work has helped you. Using the term changed your life is really heavy, you know. I love you too. Much love, brother. That means a lot. I'm going to try to catch up to Hassan's question. Unique says, thank you, brother. I signed up for your mastermind course. Teach me how to fish. Yeah. But remember, like, I could teach you how to fish, but like, you better fish before the flood comes, because once that flood comes, it's not going to be a fun time fishing. I'll tell you that. So Hassan Tazi, I have 1 second. Let me just clear this up. Okay. So you said you have an intoxicating mix of confidence and humility. Where do you get your self-worth from? Thanks for changing my life. Wow. Hassan, it's within, you know, like we all have this opportunity to go within. And I think too many people spend too much time externally. Like, you have this ability to tap into your own truths. And when you go to expose those truths, if you see that other people don't resonate with that, then those people weren't designed for your life's purpose. They are just agents in your matrix. So what you need to do is believe in yourself. You need to be able to speak your truths into this world and have confidence in your truths, because you are the only one that exists here. You know, like you're gonna be wrong until you're ready to be right. It's as easy as that, you know? And then when you get to a place where you're comfortable with what it is that you're aware of, you're going to be more open to ideas that are so grandiose and way above your imagination. You're going to start to basically just start funneling in energy from the cosmos. I know that that's an impossible question to really answer, but I guess I find there to be an incredible power that we all have, and it's about unlocking it and achieving it. And some people might call it the vortex, like you're in a vortex. I don't really know what to call it. I just feel like it has a lot to do with you just figuring out what your life's purpose is, and don't give up until you're 100% there. Nothing else matters. No other opinions matter. No what people are saying on Twitter or whatever the fuck. It's all garbage. You're the only truth that matters. B to G, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. That means a lot to me. Thank you. So Visor says, what are your thoughts on flare and songbird ecosystem? So I gotta admit, I don't know a whole bunch about this songbird thing going on, but what I do understand is that I am not really happy with the way that flare has been they've been moving the goalpost on their release, and I feel like a lot of these XRP army YouTubers have sucked in so many fucking people and trapped them in going all in on XRP just because of flare and the flare ecosystem. And it's just ironic in a sense that it has been consecutively pushed and pushed and pushed, and everyone's waiting for these spark tokens. And I don't really have like a whole lot of nice things to say about it, because ultimately I look at all this technology as a form of enslavement of humanity, and moving people into a blockchain based economy is not a positive thing. So whatever these YouTubers typically have to say, I almost instantaneously just I understand the long-term plan, so I'm not going to get caught up in the bullshit in between here and there. I understand that this is a space to make money, period, end of story. Like everything else is just icing on the cake, but we're all here to make money. Whether a technology is good or a new airdrop comes or any of that, like it's all irrelevant. And I almost bet that flare and everything connected to it is going to drop like in the middle of Shemitah, when the market is already at like 80% lost value. I could almost guarantee that's what's going to happen. And then all of those fucking people that were sitting there trying to get you to believe that it's this great thing and you're going to make all this fucking money, you're going to be, again, it's going to come back to like what we were talking about earlier about putting all your belief in idols, putting all your belief in these people, where they're essentially trying to sell you on something that has no proof. Stuff worries me that too many people get overly confident in their financial decisions based on theoretical ideas. Here we try to discuss the basics. We see that Bitcoin every 4 years hits an all-time high, and when it does that, it pulls back into what I would consider a bull trap, and that's when you have alt season, and alt seasons melt people's faces. And during this whole run up between pretty much May, like sell in May, walk away, all the way up to Saturnalia in December, it will be the most confusing time of your life as an investor. And it's designed that way so that the smartest people play the game, and the people that are all inside of their emotions are too scared to play the game. That'd be my easiest way of describing what's going on here. Naz Yavuz. I like this name. I've always liked reading your name, Naz, because I feel like if I knew how to say it properly, it would sound more beautiful. She says, what do you think about the number 13 and 31? Wow. Well, 13 is always looked at in pop culture as an unlucky number, and whenever something is popularly one way, I always look at it in the other way. So we'll start with that. Um, I don't have a whole lot to say about like individual numbers because I'm of the belief system that numbers in and of themselves don't have any power. They have the power that we elect to the numbers. So asking these sorts of questions is definitely difficult because when we're just looking at an individual number and we're trying to make it something, we have to check ourselves. So a lot of you guys who follow my work, you might hear me talk about like the number 21 a lot and 42, and it's not really the value or the power that I give it. It's the value and power that I've seen the results in when these numbers come to fruition, how they react in our realm, in our world. And why is that? It's because the elites are using Gematria to play God in this matrix. It's not that the numbers in and of themselves are powerful. Humans have created the power and attached it to the numbers. That's why when we hear someone's age, and this is why I don't talk about my age, because it's fucking irrelevant. But when you talk about someone's age and somebody says, I'm 12 years old, we say, oh, you're a young, you're a kid still. When somebody's 21, they say, oh, you're a kid still. Or if you're 60, you're grown up, you're an adult or whatever. And we've attached these words and this power onto age. And what I've noticed this does to people is it captures them in aging. And aging is a process of literally manipulating your mind into manipulating your body. And this is why we have aging, because people are so caught up in the numbers. And when you think you're old, you will become old. Period. So it's so fascinating to be asked how I feel about numbers, because in actuality, I think it's just like time. It's an illusion. It's how do these numbers show up for us time and time again, and how are we able to crack this code to utilize these numbers in our favor? I know I didn't answer your question because it's an almost impossible question to answer. But now, well, when we're using Gematria, if you're finding a connection between 13 and 31 in several things, then you can start to you could start to take that data and write it down. You could start to collect that data, and you could start to, or even in your personal life, if you're seeing the number 13 and 31 show up a lot in your personal life, then take account of that, and then remember how you feel when you see those numbers, and then start being a magician about it. Be an alchemist. Make that number work for you. I tell this to people all the time because a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, oh, there's this unlucky number in my life. And I'm like, no, it's because you're brainwashed into thinking that number is negative or bad. You as a human have put your human logic into numbers, and this is what you do. Like when I'm talking about the number 56 in the Society of Jesus, I'm not talking about bad things. It's not like every Jesuit is a bad person. Like, that's immature. That's a ridiculous way to think. And some people's work tends to do that. I won't say any names, but we're all individuals here, having a universal experience. We're all more alike than we are different. So all the things that we hate or all the things that we dislike are a reflection of us. There's no unlucky numbers. You just decide to make a number unlucky for you. And I'm not talking to you, Naz. I'm just speaking in general, of course. Mustafa, I appreciate your super chat. Much love to you. So SW with the super chat says, do you think cashing out into stable coins and waiting for the next bear market is a good strategy? If so, which one would you pick? So that's a good question. This is sort of talking about things that are more alike than they are different. I've said this in the last live stream in regards to exchanges. Exchanges are more alike than they are different. They're essentially custodians of your coins, and up to your privacy measures allows what's possible for the confiscation of your coins or bad things to happen to you. So The same thing goes with stable coins. A lot of people have been fudded out of Tether because they think Tether is going to go away because they think Tether is backed by nothing. But what they fail to understand is that your US dollars are also backed by nothing. The whole economy is backed by nothing but imagination. And we all agree on it, so it works. It's Fugazi. It doesn't actually exist. It's just there because we've all imagined it and given it power. It's like the elites. Like Bill Gates has no power. We just elect him power. We give him or believe power into him. That's how he's a magician and how he's able to steal all your juice. So now getting back to the question, when it comes to getting your stable coins, it doesn't really matter what, they're all more alike than they are different. They're all backed by essentially dog shit. So just pick the one that you believe in most and go with that. Like, I think DAI and USDC are good. They're limited what you could exchange them for. I think Tether's the winner. Tether is created by the same New World Order that created XRP, that created fucking XDC, that created all of this shit. Okay? Tether is just part of the elite system of moving money from point A to point B in a new way. Now they don't need to carry around suitcases full of cash. They just do it with USDC. But you need to remember that the top dogs in this market are top dogs because they are BTC whales and they are minting USDT all day, every single day, like clockwork. They are using Bitcoin and they're using stable coins as counter mechanisms of manipulating this market based on astrology, numerology, and Gematria. So my strategy personally will be cashing out most things because we're in Shemitah, and Shemitah means global financial collapse, most likely, especially with the current system that we're in, the problems that we have. I've talked about that enough, so I don't want to keep harping on that. But USDC and USDT and DAI stablecoin and Binance stable, they're all more alike than they are different. Just pick the ones that you know you could convert to coins in the future that you like. And fees and all of that, none of that really matters. Fees don't matter when you buy a coin like T-Fuel and it goes up 40,000%. You're going to be thinking about, like, fees are negligible when you have those opportunities. So if we're discussing a bear market and the opportunity of bear market probabilities, like, think about this bear market and then measure from bear market bottom all the way to the top. For most of these altcoins, it was the pandemic crash. So if you take a coin like Polygon, you know, it's like a 50,000% gain. So that means on the next bear market, there's diminishing returns. You might see T-Fuel on the next bear market. Coin like Vitho, coin like, you know, maybe even XDC, Algorand, HBAR, some of these more NWO coins, these coins can go up 25,000% easily if you buy the bottom. So a little goes a long way, and to be in Tether or to be in whatever coin that converts into it, that's all that really matters at that time. But I don't see Tether going away. That's bullshit. Anyone who says stuff like that are typically the same people who don't invest in the proper projects because they're all caught up in the same nonsense that's delivering them that initial message in the first place. James says, peace, bro. First of all, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate your support. Says, a question for you. What do you think our economic future will be like in 2030 or whenever this agenda is fulfilled? So think about the fact that we're currently in Shemitah and we have 2022, the whole year pretty much to deal with this. And that's where I believe the chaos will actually exist. So right now we're in the best part of Shemitah. We are in the time where the Jesuit order and the Talmudic I don't want to get too complicated. Let's just move on to the thesis of we're in the best part of Shemitah where they pump up the market before they dump it. Now, we won't see every single thing collapse as one. It will be like dominoes falling, and the first domino to fall is Bitcoin. The second one is altcoins. The third one is shit coins. And then the one after that is the stock market. With the stock market, that'll be broken up into the most inflated aspect of the stock market, which is the tech stocks, and then the ghost companies, and then it'll domino through there, all the way till you get to OG companies like, you know, General Electric and Coca-Cola. Then once all that's done, you're going to see the dollar moonshot. Like the dollar, the DXY is going to be the best thing to hold in 2022. And this is counter to what everyone believes. but this is facts. Because if you study any Shemitah or study any financial issues in the stock market, you will start to see the DXY as a counter move to what the stocks do. This time will be no different. I don't give a shit about China having CBDCs. I don't care. None of that matters. That's all to just fill up people's heads with a bunch of fucking thoughts. But if you look in the charts, you have over a century of history that proves it. So to get on to what's going to happen here, the next Shemitah will be 2028 into 2029, and that'll be the Agenda 2030 Shemitah. So I believe we have between pretty much now and 2025 to get our shit together. If you don't have your shit together today, you better start paying attention for the next bear market, because that's going to be your last opportunity. And also the next bull run will be way easier to navigate, because the next bull run will not be during Shemitah. So we're going to have a much more similar bull run to the 2017 bull run in the year of 2025. So just that's some food for thought. This bull run that we've had so far for Bitcoin has been identical to the 2013 bull run, not the 2017 bull run. The bull run after this, the one that's going into 2024, 2025, will be so similar. I could almost bet on it, because this is all ritual. It's all done in cycles, okay? So this was the harder bull run, guys, believe it or not. If you weren't in the 2017 cycle and you were only in this cycle and you've made it this far and you're profitable, congratulations, man. This one was a doozy, because a lot of YouTubers especially did not anticipate that big correction in May. And that was a tricky one to call. Like, I was even starting to get skeptical on it. Like, I remember I had a red pill episode in the very early days of making a Patreon, probably back in, around the transition of April. And when I started seeing Bitcoin trading the weekly around that 21 exponential moving average, I was like, I wasn't feeling good. I was not feeling, my stomach felt off. And I was telling people that I did suspect Bitcoin to hit 60 to 70K before a pullback. And I said that all the way back in September or October. Anyone who's in my mastermind course and has done like the first 15 or 20 videos, you would have heard me say that in the mastermind course. I was very explicit that I anticipated Bitcoin to hit 60 to 70K before a big correction. So I didn't know when the correction would happen. I didn't know if it would be in April, May, June. I just knew that it wouldn't go past 70 too much. I was sort of on the fence of 72K, but that was only because of Gematria. And now it's sort of, I'm looking towards the early November month for 72K. Oh, AK, you sent 20 New Zealand dollars. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your super chat. Yeah, true, Ian. Ian said, age does not equal wisdom. Aging is a mindset. I 1,000,000% agree with that. I stopped practicing the holiday rituals like 5 years ago. I stopped celebrating Christmas. I stopped celebrating I don't even celebrate my birthday anymore. I don't tell people my age. I don't care anymore about any of that stuff. It's limiting. It's limiting you. I get my information from, I don't even know where, the cosmos. But I won't let another human tell me what I am. Fuck that. We're so much bigger than that. So Novi says, what are your thoughts on the bearish reversal shooting star 6-month candle that printed about 3 months ago? So Novi, first and foremost, this shooting star and all these candle pattern ideas are stuff that works pretty well in Forex. It works pretty well in some traditional stocks, but it does not work in crypto. Crypto is a totally different ballgame. And these types of ways of doing analysis, I disregarded at a very early stage once I learned that it's all about the months and the moons. When you see that certain months are just getting these reactions time and time again, it doesn't matter what these like patterns that people were designing back 80 years ago, 70 years ago when they were designing technical analysis. Technical analysis is quite young, and that's why with most of my work, I try to focus on Richard Wyckoff, who does the Wyckoff method. And right now we are in the textbook reaccumulation after decline schematic that I've been telling people about since May. Now, the overall pattern we're in is still bullish, but you would have to zoom out and you'd have to look at everything. So it's cool that you're talking about a 6-month candle. Those bi-yearly candles are very rare. Novi. Very few people talk about that. So that's cool, but honestly, this stuff, it doesn't quite matter. It just doesn't. There's a bigger picture thing at play here, and it's all about Saturnalia. It's all about getting the market up around December for the crucifixion of the Christ ritual. I could go deeper into that another time, but we'll leave it at that for there. So I really appreciate your super chat, and I do see merit to these ideas of some of these candle patterns, especially on much more larger time frames. Like a 6 month is a really big time frame. We're actually just about to close the quarterly. So the 3 month candle, we are about to close that at the end of this month. So that would be interesting because closing the quarterly above the top side Bollinger Band on Bitcoin has historically just led to melting to the upside. So maybe pay more attention to that, Novi. And I would consider this thing you mentioned as something to disregard at this time. In regards to bearish sentiment. Hope I answered your question. So Levi Brown, I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Says, what are your thoughts on the NASA documentary found on their site talking about basically blowing us away with a laser beam in 2025? Oh, dude, I should be giving you $5. Oh my God. That was the funniest shit I've ever read. Oh man. I need to recuperate myself after reading what you just said. Okay. NASA. Do I need to say anything else? More than just NASA? I'm sorry, Levi. I don't know what to say. God, NASA's amazing, man. What a psyop. Can you link us to this documentary, Levi? Can you just please put the link to what you're talking about? Because this sounds like such a good rest of my night. I want to crack a beer open and watch whatever the hell you just said. That sounds like it's okay, so you said documents. When I first read it, I thought you said documentary. Okay. Yeah, please post those documents. I would absolutely love to. I need some literature whenever I need to take a poop, so that'll be funny for me. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Sometimes I could be a comedian, but I really need to move on. So AK says, thank you. A book you may find interesting, The Fourth Turning. It fits the timeline. What do you think about E-Gold? Elrond? Okay, so AK, I really appreciate your super chat, but again, let's try to stay away from sending super chats for me to give my thoughts about coins. I really want these live streams to be about good vibes, high consciousness, talking about wisdom, gnosis, etc. Yeah, Elrond's gonna do fine. It's already done really well, so but also I don't read books. I don't have any interest in reading books at this time too. I'm kind of in the stage of my experience here on this earth plane as a creator. So I'm the one writing the books. I don't really have much time to consume anymore. I'm a teacher. I help people. I learn as much as I can from within. And when I don't know something, I don't start seeking too much externally. I've been really trying to practice lately seeking from within for my truths and for my information. And I've been finding out really profound answers through doing that. So again, I appreciate your suggestion, though. If anyone else here likes to read, go ahead and take the advice from our good friend, and perhaps it would be really enlightening for you. Sorry, I can't really say too much about Elrond. I'm not personally planning to invest in it, so if that gives you any of the idea about how I feel. So James says, thanks for the answer. Follow up, if we're not prepared now, how would you recommend preparing before 2025? Is the US a viable place to live? So James, and this actually kind of comes back to something that people were talking about today in our Discord. When people say things like America is better than this place or China is bad, and like people need to understand that if, and maybe I'm wrong about this, so I would love to be checked if I'm wrong about this. But if you live in rural China where there's like 15 people in a village, you're in a million times better of a scenario than living in New York City, Manhattan. So it's all about what you're locally talking about. These blanket statements of, is the U.S. viable place to live? Like, sure, brother. There's a lot of opportunity everywhere, though. You want to go where you are treated best. So I always suggest to people, before they ask somebody about really blanket ideas, go do some traveling. Go try to explore a little bit. If you're not living in the States, it might be impossible for you to come here. But also where you are at, there might be a place that's so much better than anywhere in the States. So it's always about just experience. And my experiences in America have been Arizona, Utah, Montana, Idaho, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, and the exception of Florida are pretty fucking amazing. Like really solid, particularly Utah, if you're trying to escape the NWO. Also Texas might be there as well, with some places in Texas maybe not fitting the bill, depending on how you are, depending on how you feel. I would count out New Mexico completely, and Indian reservations. Those are they give a lot of a shit about this virus. So anyways, one of the ways you could prepare is by educating yourself right now on technical analysis and studying Gematria so that you can be part of this last moment in a bull run. Don't go all in, because this is not the time to go all in. Just responsibly dollar cost average into some of the projects that you believe in, and then cash out when you've started to profit near the end of the year into January 2022. And I believe that advice right there could be extremely helpful for you in the immediate short term. But 2025 is going to be a totally different world, where I can't speak for 2025. We may have a quarter of our population living in FEMA camps for all I know. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm trying to, even with my decodes, I've been seeing, and this might give you guys some understanding of how I am. Sometimes I work 17 or 18 hour days, and I notice that at the 16th hour of my fucking workday, I'm sitting there doing a decode for the year 2027. And I'm like, what are you doing, guy? Like, I have to look in the mirror and tell myself, like, are you out of your mind? So this gives you a little bit of an idea of my work ethic. Like, I will be doing something that is so bizarre that I don't even plan to talk to people about for years, but I'm sitting there just like caught up in it, because that's the way I am. So lately I've been having to slow myself down and just be like, focus on now, focus on now, focus on now, because the way my brain works, it's just so expansive, and I tend to get off the rails sometimes in my own studies. So damn, I barely have enough time to do my own thing, let alone someone else's thing. So yeah, 2025, it's not in my lenses at this time. I'm not worried about it. I rather focus on the now, the present time, to be a part of this present wealth transfer. So Jonathan Gray says, thanks for your insight and content What will you be investing in when you cash out of crypto at the end of the cycle? So my main thing that I want to invest in when the dollar goes deflationary is the housing market for myself. So I would like to get out of, I would just like to live in private, as private as I could live. So I've studied a little bit about the 2007, 2008 housing crisis, and allegedly around 30 to 40% drop in most markets. Of course, there was some markets that didn't drop that much, like Texas didn't take as big of a hit because people moving in from California, you know how this goes. And if you don't know how this goes, then please study it because it's fascinating. It's right around the corner. I do anticipate that in 2022, before 2023, we will have some sort of housing crisis again. Now, will it be bigger than the last one? I don't know. I think right now people are way less responsible with their money, but they have way more easy money than ever before. So it's just some food for thought, the big difference between 2007 and today. Right now, we just had like a full year of people being given $600 checks for no reason. And we're not even technically on UBI yet. Like, I'm using UBI with air quotes because, there are people who've essentially lived their whole life on a UBI in America. So when it comes to cashing out and reinvesting in a new thing, I'm actually just more interested in crypto. Like, I rather save money on the sidelines to get back into crypto in the bear market. And I already told everyone here, like, I'm going to be trading the whole bear market. So those people that want to trade along with me will have a new Patreon membership opened up for the traders who want to take advantage of the way down. Because there's a lot of opportunity in a bear market. Traders who are professional traders make more money in a bear market than they do in a bull run. And the reason is because bear markets are longer. There's more time. So I'm going to be still as focused as I am today, even in the bear market. But then when I'm really going to wait for the housing crisis, and I'm going to be looking to buy real estate and a home for my mom as well. I would like to retire my mom. So that would be my focus, setting my immediate people free. But I do not give a shit about precious metals or any of that. I would just rather get land, and I would just rather invest in land and businesses and crypto and then focus on that. Wow. It's amazing how many people have been in on this live stream. It's 800. Beautiful. Much love to all of you guys, seriously. So Jat 160, I appreciate the super chat, though. $12.34. Hi, Ball here. When connected and vibrating with the pineal gland, where do you look to channel that energy? I often find myself trying to understand why I get these episodes. Okay. Where do you look to channel the energy? So you have access to the pineal body. Like, the pineal body is always operating. Like, it's working harder in your sleep. You could go fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension in the sleep, and that's why you could have these experiences that are out of the body and etc. But when it comes to your particular question, I mean, what I think is necessary to move energy the way you want it to, or quote unquote have your energy work for you, it's about dimming all the outside, what would you call it, like the things that are interfering with you. Like, and a lot of the times it's excessively looking at your cell phone or working too much, or being in loud places. Like, you need to have a serene environment, and then you also need to have the ability to block out the outside, because if you want to go within, you have to shut out the doors for a moment. And now you have to be a magician with that energy when you get it, though. Like, what are you going to do with it? So you have to figure out how you're going to utilize that. When you get to that place, that vortex where now it's just you and the truth, when it's like you and the Akashic records, it's up to you now what you want to do there. I'll give a very like elementary example that might be able to help people out. So a couple days ago when XRP was dropping to 86 cents, there might have been a lot of people that were aware of that number for weeks in advance, and then the time comes when it's there and then they don't grab it. They don't use the moment when it's there. It floats away like a lightning bug, like a butterfly. Now that butterfly actually flew all the way to you and landed on your hand, and then you spit on it and it flew away. The same thing goes with you when you're meditating or when you're entering a deep state, like if you're practicing Tantra, whatever you're doing. You need to know what to do when that butterfly lands on your hand, right? You see the deep analogy here? So I hope that resonates with you. You need to be able to utilize when you unlock those beautiful moments. Otherwise, you're just going to blink your eye and it's going to be gone. Okay, I have a super chat from Alberto Castro. He says, thank you for sharing knowledge, brother. I know you mentioned where you would go in the USA. Why did you say with... So, Alberto, maybe I used the wrong word in that. Sorry, I meant to say like places that I would normally find problematic with the exception of Florida. That's what I was trying to say. Like, excuse me though, I might have said the wrong thing. I was basically trying to say that Florida would be one of those places that would be considered to hold on to most of their freedoms pre-pandemic. So, apologies. That was just me being lost in a stream of consciousness and not including all the words that I should have said. So, yeah, it seems to be that Florida's doing pretty well. But, and this is a big but, when the housing crisis comes, Florida will be in shambles, okay? Remember my words. Because there's massive immigration there. They're giving out houses to people who don't even speak English. They can't even read the forms that they're signing away to. This is what happened in 2007. They were giving houses to people with no credit scores, or they had rock bottom credit scores. They couldn't speak English. And this is no offense to people who don't speak English. That's not my point. The point is that these real estate agents, these people were giving a home to people just because they had a beating heart and they could breathe. They had no other qualifications. They never had any proof of income, and they weren't even working. There was so many people. It's not just immigrants. It's all people. And that market in Florida, it's not going to be pretty this time around. So get ready for massive homelessness in the cities of Florida, pandemic or no pandemic. I don't give a fuck how great your governor is, okay? There's a massive issue there when it comes to an inflated housing market, and on top of that, you just have these issues, a massive amounts of population moving in with very little to show. You can't just have people living in homes forever and not pay the homes. Like you can't just do that forever. It's gonna eventually crumble to pieces. So with high population states, you have to consider that. So Dreamers sent a $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So Leon says, Leon from your mastermind course, I love your course with 5 V's and 5 E's. I'm learning so much. What are your short and long-term goals for the future? Whoa. I don't think anyone's asked me that. Okay, my short-term goal is to have as many people be a part of this community as possible before the end of this bull run, so that when the bull run ends, we could have a bunch of wealthy wolves to be able to buy that dip whenever the bear market comes. So I have pretty much my immediate short-term goal is to change as many minds and lives as possible. You know, the biggest part of my work, Leon, is setting people free from that XRP army cult. Like, I'll just be straight up. I might have a lot of people leave this live stream right now. I really don't give a fuck. But that's my main mission. I've been getting a majority of the people who follow my work are people that were sucked in to a pipe dream that has been wrong for fucking years. And then they finally found my work. They resonate. And then they're seeing how they could actually still be in XRP and be safe in XRP and actually make a lot of money. I've had people who've made $200,000 to $300,000 on trades on XRP who were hodlers before they found my work, and they were in losses. So these trades that they made set them up to get out of their losses, and now they don't look at XRP as a hodl coin anymore, and they're thanking me for that. So that seems to be one of the bigger parts of my work that is unique and that I've helped people with, is sort of unlearning a lot of the bullshit that's going on in this sector. People falling for tricks and not paying attention to charts, which is the data. It's the history. It's provable. And I don't get why people get so caught up in news and theater to make their decisions when they have the proof right in front of their eyes. So, first of all, I really appreciate you for all of your kind words about the course. My short-term goal, just to help as many people as I possibly can. My long-term goal is to figure out a way to be... Actually, I won't even go there. My long-term goal doesn't actually matter, because we need to take things one step at a time. And sometimes when people have so many goals, they make plans and God laughs, one of those kind of cliche. But I actually am starting to believe in something similar to that. I believe that a lot of people make too many plans and then they don't take action day to day. When in reality, getting 1% better every single day can provide you with 300% results. And that's not even the compounding effect of it all. If you think about how when you get better at something, you compound that. You get even better faster as you go, because you build your acumen in that subject matter. Sometimes I could get way ahead of myself in the timing of my goals, and lately I've been calming myself down to be more focused on the now. That's been a huge lesson that I've been trying to teach myself. James says, let me keep going. So SW says, thoughts on sushi. Would love your TA on the Patreon Red Pill episode. So maybe I said this before you said this or after you said this, but yeah, let's just try to not do any coin requests, like this is not what this is about. Like, I really appreciate it, but I keep saying this over and over, and yeah, I don't really care about Sushi Swap. Like, it is what it is, I don't even really care too much to be diversified at this, like overly diversified at this time. I think you can pick 3 winners and be very well off, financially free. I've already talked about all the coins that I really enjoy, I believe, and I'm going to just stick with that. The shit that I don't talk about is stuff that I don't really care about. But I really appreciate, see, this is why I feel bad when somebody gives a super chat and then I have to respond like this, because it is just what it is. Like, much love to you too, brother, but I don't... So the Patreon Red Pill episodes are for the community to vote. You know how that goes? Like, I don't want it to be about all the coins that, because I could just talk about all the things that I want to talk about forever, but then there's no community involved. So the idea of the weekly Red Pill episodes is for all of the members to select coins and vote on the coins, and whatever is the top votes is what I'll cover. It's a bunch of coins that I don't really talk about, like in my day-to-day videos, or any coins that I personally invest in. So... Again, everyone could see the coins that I invest in. If you're part of the Mastermind Community membership, you'll see in the what I'm buying and selling part of the Discord, all the buys. Like today I bought some Vitho and T-Fuel. What's up, Siddiqa, in the chat? Hope you're doing well. Much love to you. Dr. Savage 84, much love to you. I would love to hear more of your thoughts on your experience for working for Century 21 in 2008. Please send me more information about that. That sounds incredible. I'm just trying to scroll through some questions. So KA Super Chat, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Says, can we talk about the realities of the flood we are all preparing for? When and what will happen? So KA, I just want to first let you know that the flood is a very long time process. It's been going on for a while now. It's just the water level is rising. So for some people have different floods than other people. If you are somebody who's depressed and full of anxiety because of what's going on in our world, that is your current flood, right? Now, we have the global flood, which are the parasites in the New World Order who are essentially influencing the masses to go along with their plan and their narrative. They're not actually doing anything wrong. They're just influencing, and people are falling for it. That's always been the way. Just like back when the confiscation of gold happened, you didn't have to fucking listen. It's not like your police officers outnumbered the people. The people just gave in and gave up their gold. They call it a confiscation, but what it actually was they wrote up a little piece of paper and made a bunch of people scared and told them that if we find out that you have gold, you'll go to jail. It'll be like a federal offense. And then a bunch of people were scared little pussies, and they basically gave all their gold up. So the flood in and of itself is the influence and belief of the people. The belief of the people right now has been bamboozled by scientism. That is the current flood that everyone is dealing with. The flood of scientism. That would be like a beautiful book title. So, how do we prepare for that? Well, first and foremost, don't ever get finessed by the CDC or the WHO or Anthony Fauci or any of these people, because they don't give a fuck about you. I'm sure most of you know that already. Now, how do we get ahead of it? Well, if we stop giving our attention to any of that stuff, we could free up our attention to put it somewhere else. And now, what are you going through in your life? Do you own your home? Do you own your car? Do you own your cell phone? Well, if you're going to say no to all those things, just remember the big plan here in the quote-unquote Great Reset is for everything to be on a lending basis, where you essentially have no ownership over anything. Now, this again has been a long-term process since the invention of essentially the stock market, and then also you have the mortgage system. So we can go on and on and on about this forever, but I think it's a very grandiose idea of what the flood is, because it could be a local problem in your reality, and there's also the grand idea here, which is Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, coming into this sort of crossroads. That is the ultimate flood. And then you have a lot of issues with food shortages, but too many things to talk about with that. I could probably just go on forever. Appreciate your super chat. Ryder Mackenzie, super chat, $7 Canada. Appreciate you. Says, I just joined the course yesterday and I love it. Much love from Canada. That's what's up. I appreciate you, Ryder. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, and I hope that you're learning a lot from that course. If you bust your ass and watch 4 videos a day, you will finish it in 28 days, and then you'll be a legend who's ready for the advanced trading course when that comes out in November. 11/1, big date. Andrea Berry, much love to you. I hope you are having a beautiful day. Says, you set me free from the army. That's what I'm talking about. That was my goal for so many people. Dilip says, wow, what a way to start your stream. I don't give a fuck. Well, you got here late, brother, but yeah. I'm just, you know how this goes. It's a red pill episode. Sarah Maret. I wonder how do you say your last name? I know you're from You're from France, right? Much love to you. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Can you guys remove Samuel Erickson with this spamming bullshit? Thank you. Just remove them. Like, if anyone has to ask a question 10 times in a row, it's just insane. Yeah, we should do a group. I told so BB says, are we gonna do the group meditation? So I said to the community, whoever wants to do that can do that in the Discord. Just set it up. Like, you guys have the power to go into the voice chat meetup and say, hey guys, I'm doing a group meditation this day at this time, and if you guys want to join, then great. And then people will do it or not. Like, and even if they don't join, then you could do it alone and start it alone, and then people can join. I think that would be dope. Just do it. Don't waste any time if it's something you want to try. Oh no, I think I lost my spot in the questions. Excuse me. I'm gonna go back. Excuse me. All right. Think we got it. Yeah. Sachi Garcia, much love to you. So Freaky Demigod says, please make us rich so we can buy us houses and land. Well, I think that you need to take action in the market, because when I give information, it's just information, but it doesn't do anything for you if you don't do anything about it. So of course it's my goal to help as many people financially, but there's also the area of when the market starts dipping, are you going to buy that dip? Because that's ultimately how you generate lots of income. So Euphoturia, I don't know how to say your name, sorry, says, how much advanced would that new course? So I guess you mean how much more advanced would that course be? Now, I am not entirely sure. I think I want to keep it short though. So the new trading course is probably going to be less than 30 videos. It's going to be short. I don't plan on having really long videos in it either. I want it to be like straight and to the point, and to get as much content and have it sort of be a part 2 to the mastermind course, where the part, like, I'll break this down, right? So the mastermind course is more to teach people how to invest, how to build a portfolio, how to read the charts and do technical analysis the way that I do it. And off of that, it's also how to build and develop a mindset, like a investing psychology in a sense. That's what the mastermind course is about. You need to know all that type of stuff before you get into trading, because if you don't have the emotional ideas like controlled, you're going to be the shittiest trader. So the trading course isn't going to, I don't want to spend too much time going over like the trading thesis and psychology of it all. I will start out with some words of wisdom, but I want the content to be more about trading setups, my indicators, how I trade, with the focus on swing trading. I'm not a huge fan of short-term scalps. I'm not big into stuff like that. I could give advice and I could teach people how to take action in that stuff, but people would probably get way more results in trading by learning Gematria than they would by trying to trade the 5-minute chart. Like, seriously. People who are trying to do short-term scalps on like the 30-minute or less, you picked the wrong asset to be in, because this market can go up and down and left and right, and so many people have gotten liquidated trying these 50x leverage positions on a 5-minute chart, and it's like crazy. They barely know how to invest, and they're jumping into this madness. So SW says, long live the Waters Above crypto tribe. So grateful this exists. Much love, everyone. Hopefully I will get to meet you guys in person soon. I think you can make it happen. Like I said, I want to start, getting some people together, if possible, just to know what country everyone is in so that people can start discussing that with each other, Like if there's 100 members in my community that are from the Netherlands, that's such a tiny little fucking country. You would be surprised. One of those people might live 5 blocks away from you. And then you guys could go grab a coffee together, and then now you can fucking start a new business together and change the world, you know? That's kind of the idea. But I don't live on Earth, so you'll never find me. I'm living outside of the firmament dome. That's why I'm able to help you guys. So, let's see. All right. Hubert Hughes, I really appreciate this super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Says, I saw our Earth as a small black pearl where our souls were trapped. I felt my spirit float above my body, and something forced my spirit back into my body. Would love to hear your experiences with psychedelics. So, Hubert, I had a very, very similar experience. I'll share my experience. I might have discussed this in the past, but one time I did a very high dose of psychedelics in a fasted state. I did, I think, about 7.5, 8 grams. And in the peak of it all, I was in the Garden of Eden, and I was talking with the serpent, and the serpent had, like, it was what's that? Telepathic? Like, sorry, I'm thinking about too many things at once because I'm trying to like go back to that experience. It's really hard to go back into experience that was so profound. But essentially what happened was I made the decision to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And when I did that and I bit into it, I became the fruit as I was biting it. And it was like a loop, like kind of like the Ouroboros, and it became a time loop, and in that loop there was just knowledge and like a wisdom, and it was like fucked. It was crazy. It was like being inside of a blender. Nothing made sense, but everything resonated. It was really difficult, but in there I got a little bit more of an understanding of what we are and what animals are and what this earth that's beneath our feet is. And again, I'm all about the idea of us having our own truths. I don't believe that I have the truth. I don't believe that you have the truth. I believe that you hold the truth for yourself. And that was a really profound experience for me. And when I experienced that, it kind of showed me that Earth is a prison. Like, Earth is an actual prison planet. It is a place where our consciousness, our soul, our spirit, whatever you want to call it, is trapped. But at the same time, it can float outside of this realm, and it could use our body as like a host. And that's really all we seem to be. The body seems to be like a cosmic host for a massive, immense amount of energy. So much more to say on that too. But I appreciate your super chat. Thank you. And it sounds like you had a really life-changing experience, Hubert. So that's beautiful. I'm sorry, Nate the Great, but anytime I read the name Biden, I just like immediately have to move on. So I don't want to talk about these people, you know? Like, I don't have a president. I don't believe in politics. None of it matters to me. It's all theater. I'm my own president. I really don't have energy for these shills. So Crazy Shibby says, what's the meaning of the numbers on the hoodie? I'm surprised you haven't figured that out. So it's the Gematria of Moon. So Moon, the Gematria, is the 57 English ordinal, the 21 reverse ordinal, and then it has the reverses as 5115 and the 23 Chaldean. It is the most powerful energy that we have as we're trapped in the body. As we're trapped in this body. Like the female cycle goes off of that lunar cycle. It's profound. Now, when we're out of the body, when we're at the higher levels, the crown chakra, higher, this is when we have Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mars. This is where we as more enlightened beings can tap into this serious energy. Remember, Jupiter is the king of the gods. Saturn is the ruler of Earth and Father Time. Venus, the divine feminine, who is also Lucifer, as Phosphorus. Venus is Phosphorus, who is the light bearer, who is Lucifer. Lucifer is that feminine wisdom. It is not Satan. That is nonsense. That's garbage they teach people. And the two bulls. What's up, Felicia? Much love to you. What's my favorite food? My favorite food is black grapes. I could eat black grapes every single day for the rest of my life, and I could be fulfilled. That is my favorite food. Speaking of that, I'm probably going to do a grape fast soon. No, I'm not a time traveler. I know how to get in contact with Saturn, and Saturn as Father Time tells me the answers. That's why, like, when people are like, oh, Saturn is Satan, and they, like, feel so good about themselves, but they don't know what the fuck they just said. All Saturn is Father Time. It's the rings. It's the hexagon. It's Metatron. It's Gabriel. It's depth. It's time itself, guys. You need to tap into that understanding to transcend it all. So Jat says, thanks for the 555, by the way. Appreciate that. That's a number that I've been seeing lately. Anywho, says, out of interest, where did you discover all this knowledge? Is it through self-education, or, you know where I got it all? From changing my diet. When I changed, well, actually, let me reword that. I stopped eating a diet because the word diet has die in it. Okay? It's like diagnosis, and disease is disease. Okay? So when you eat a diet, you would get diagnosed with the way you will die. So if you want to break out of that spell casting, that is where a lot of wisdom is unlocked. I won't tell you the way I eat. It is irrelevant. But what matters most is that's where it unlocked for me. It was through the way that I was consuming. Because very few people know this, but they currently have parasites in them. And those parasites are derived from the food they eat, and they parasite your consciousness and your mind. And it holds you back from the energy and the information that the sun gives you. The sun creates all the things that you consume, right? Now, there's certain things that the sun designed for you to not consume. And when you decide to, it will give you parasites. And these parasites will host you. And they will change your thoughts. And they will block out your ability to absorb the sunlight energy that you get. All information is frequency. It is light. It is vibration. So when I changed the way that I consumed, I started unlocking truths at a rapid rate. Rapid. Like beyond human capability. It was really profound, really life-changing. It's a huge reason that I started doing this channel, actually, because when I started learning about the truth of Gematria and numerology and how this whole crypto and blockchain technology was designed, I saw deeper into it, and it started coming to me at a rate that was so quick that I was just like, I need to speak this into the world. And luckily, enough of my private clients pushed me into making a YouTube channel, because I wouldn't have even done it if it wasn't for them. So much love to all of you. Yeah, I like mango too, but if you do mango fasts, you might develop a allergy to the mango through your gut pH, essentially rejecting it. So you want to watch out when you're overly consuming. I shouldn't talk about this. I know way too much about what's going on with food. I could just talk about it forever, and I don't want to go there because every time I do, it gets off the rails. So let's move on. Don't you love how the word Anunnaki is just like Anakin? Anakin Skywalker, the walker of the skies. Star Wars was probably, and I actually haven't watched all the Star Wars movies. I should, because once you guys start opening up to all these truths, you'll see that it's all right there in Hollywood. They gave it all to you. Like the way that the like Death Star thing, it has that crater inside of it. It's where we're living. On the crater of the moon. So let's move on. Justin Chin, I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. He said, honestly, what do you think happens to us when we die? Why are you leaving that up to me, Justin? Like, I think we're already dead. I think when we go to sleep, we're alive. And I think when we are awake, we are dead. That is why they manipulated our language the way they do. They say good morning, like when you're mourning at a funeral, you're sad, mourning. That's why they say all these words that we have. They call it awake, like when somebody dies, you go to the wake where you are mourning. And they call it the week days because you were weakened. Think about it. You were the weekdays, Monday through Friday, the week and a daze when you were in a daze, like a trance, and then you move into the weekend, which if you say it just fast, it's weakened because you were weakened when you get there. It's all spellcasting. We're already dead. We are just the walking dead. When we go to sleep, we enter a reality that is much more alive because we've broken the shackles of this matrix body. That's my clear pill for you, Justin. Simple question. Ridiculous answer. Looks like we got a little bit of Bible rigmarole going on in here. So all right, Dreamers MOF 30. How do I connect with Saturn? I fell in love with the planet when I saw it through this high-powered telescope. So you're going to probably not like what I have to say, but for anyone here who studies alchemy or studies magic, that is how you connect with. This is essentially what magic is. You're drawing the rings, you're circling the squares, you're learning how to trap the energy and make the energy work for you. I am not a magician. I'm not a magi. I don't practice this stuff because I just use my mind. I rather go the Jedi route, Jedi mind tricks. So my way of looking at this realm is to just work with love energy and to be aware that time is just an illusion. And because Saturn is Father Time, all you're doing is cracking the code of how the illusion was designed and how it operates and how it works so well. So just think about it from that perspective. Just Father Time is the ruler of Earth, and Earth is where we are imprisoned. Of course, this isn't actually Earth. Let's just go with the simplicity of the words and the names, the nomenclature, so that we could be able to work through this easier. So the idea here is that the rings of Saturn are essentially the circling of the hexagon. And we could really go deep from there, but you just have to study magic and alchemy a little more, and you're going to be able to find some really profound truths. Let's move on to some super chats. Have a great weekend, Sarah. So much love for you. Good night. Jody's still in the house. That's what's up. Sadiq is still in the house. So many people still in the house. Damn. Yes, Andrea Berry. You just said it. Oh, man, I'm giving you a hug right now. Accept it. She said divergent. That's what we are, bro. We're the fucking divergents, dude. We are all like fucking Jedis, man. They don't get us. Like, they don't get us. When I walk into public, people fucking don't even know what I am. They're like, what the fuck is that guy? People start to, they're like, they shiver, dude. That's how you know what you are. Like, when you start tapping into the high level truth, you're fucking divergent, man. No one's going to be able to turn you into a zombie. It's impossible. Go watch that movie Divergent. Actually, if any of you want to watch two great movies, you watch the documentary Europa the Last Battle and then watch Divergent series, because, again, it's all hidden in Hollywood. So Jat says, seriously though, Jordan, I am deeply interested in the food as I seek to become a pure. And thoughts on the herb. Is there any time we can discuss this? Honestly, man, like, you just need to, I don't know what to say. Like, how do I say this? Just, do you have a dog or do you have a cat? Look in its eyes, bro. Just look in its eyes. All the truth is right there, man. They are so much more enlightened than we are because they don't have language like we have. We're fucked. They're talking to each other telepathically. They already see the truth. You look into a cat's eyes and it's an access portal into the fucking universe. They're just allowing us to do what we do here, bro. They're the ones who really call the shots. It's the bison, the buffalo, the cheetahs, the lions. They're the ones who call the shots. The humans are just fucking, we're just slaves here on Earth in the prison. They're the ones that are the enlightened ones. They're the ones that we should be looking up to for wisdom and knowledge, not humans. Humans don't know shit. We're lucky if we could even channel half the wisdom of the animal kingdom. So just study and you will start to see what we are designed for and what we are not designed for. And it will all make sense. But I'm not a nutritionist, man. I'm just an alien living outside the firmament, getting on this microphone for you guys for a little bit. Wow, Judo Jack, good question. Is Yaldabaoth the true controller of all? I feel like I need to have a conversation with Logan about that. Me and Logan haven't talked in some time, so probably call him soon, and we have to talk more about Yaldabaoth because he covers that a lot in his work. And then I showed him the album cover of like one of Michael Jackson's albums. It's not a real, I don't think it's one of his, it might be one of his top albums. But anyways, there's this one album cover of Michael Jackson that's just amazing to decode. And me and him were talking about it, and we kind of discovered this, octopus creature, most likely Yaldabaoth. I have so much to learn about that too, admittedly. So, but when I think of like the true controller, like when I think of all this stuff, Jack, I try to bring it back to us. Like, I think we are the controller. I think we're the one who can just grow and expand consciously till we're the one in control. And, yeah, I never like to look at anything that can get power or dominion over me, if you know what I mean by that. So even if I found out that the Almighty was Ra, the sun god, it's not my fucking god. Like, I'll let y'all play with that, but that's not how I do this thing. Like, I'm here in the Matrix to be top dog. I'm not here taking orders from Ra. These motherfuckers are parasites. Like, they're feeding off of everyone's energy to be king. And that's, to me, that's not what I was sent here to do. Common Man says, live streaming on my 86 Samsung family movie night. Questions on yoga. You're watching this with your family, dude? Oh, no. That's not good. I hope you don't have kids around, man. I mean, I'm just imagining like a whole family sitting on a couch watching this live stream. Okay. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate the super chat. Says, is this part of your weekly routine? I don't do yoga. I don't do yoga. I am more of just, I exercise creativity. That's kind of what I practice. So whenever I have any free time or any time that I need to kind of alleviate to a practice, it's creativity. It's typically playing guitar, making music, I just like creating stuff all the time. But I don't do any yoga. I do hike a lot, though. I've been going to a mountain like every other day, especially around the full moons. I feel like when I go to the mountain on the full moon, I get to really recenter myself because a lot of my work is built around these moons. So I get a lot of like energy attracted to me around the new moon and a lot of energy attracted to me around the full moon, almost like I am an extension of the moons. And I say that, I spellcast that out into this reality so that that's the way it works for me. So I always like to finish my days with a little walk, little hike around around the mountains during the full moon. It's just been a routine of mine and I feel really great doing it. So D Marie 333 giving me the 666. Much love to you, Marie. Says Gabriel. So the fallen angel are just all in servitude to these astral bodies. Now the cube of Metatron is this idea coming back to Mecca. But as the fallen angels, they are all taking orders from the king of Earth, because the king of Earth is the one who's sending his henchmen down to parasite us. And they made us too. They literally created us. So, yeah, the idea here is that it's just they're tentacles of Saturn. Maybe that elaborates it more for you. Says, I have met G as a child and she is a woman. Wow. I just see the creator as a black void because I see all things coming from the darkness. That's actually an idea for my next merch that I'm going to make. And I'm glad you brought up what you said because it just made me think about it. The next merch I'm going to be making is all matte black. And the purpose of that is because it comes back to the end of the good times and we are going to enter the bad times. The times of Shemitah, which are the Saturn ritual to change reality on a 7-year cycle. And Saturn always comes back to black. And this black is where it allows all light to shine through. Kind of saying that in a very discombobulated way, but my point being is that all of the color emits, all of the light emits from black. So the reason behind the all black merch is so that we are the light that shines through the darkness in 2022. We are the ones that are emitting this energy. Jess Brown, very, very good point. Going back through the etymology and finding out where the words are systemic is a beautiful practice. It's a beautiful practice. You could learn so much from that. So definitely for anyone here who's trying to learn more about a word, or you could just look into the symbolism, right? Like the Caduceus being the symbol of the medical field. Again, it's the serpent wrapping around the scepter. This is all just a fucking magic ritual they're showing you. Just trying to find this super chat. Benny J says thoughts on the Palladians. I don't really know how much I could commit to these ideas of these other races and what we are, and I'm super interested in it though. Like when most people talk about the Palladians, they're usually, and correct me if I'm, I want to be on the same page as you, because of course no one knows, but it seems to be these Nordics, and the Nordics, blonde hair, blue-eyed peoples, is the creation of the current, like what we currently call the Jews. So you would need to study back through the Nordics to start to make sense of this all. And essentially there's a break-off society between Ashkenazi and between what we currently call like the Vikings. But the Vikings are the origin of the Hebrew language. That's where it's all coming from. The characters and the runic language and how this was all developed, contextualized and historically represented, is showing us that the Jews are essentially the race of the Pleiadians, which are ironically also attached onto these peoples who look Germanic and look like the type of person that would also be considered the Nordics. It's amazing how that all works, but something fascinating that I have a lot to consider. Boom, 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 boom. Justin Chin says, okay, ready. Old Buddhist map shows 33 more continents outside of the ice ring. Any thoughts? Absolutely. Like, we're in probably the smallest part of this realm. The Earth realm, or it's like a playpen. That's what we are. We're like trapped in a little playpen, like children. That's what Earth is. And outside of that playpen is a massive amount of land. Sorry. Jody just wrenched you. Thank you, Jody. Pretend says, mind is all is love. If the mind is not rooted in all vibrational love, it is disconnected from the all. Once we find true love, you find God. Yeah, I look at love as a very important frequency, and it is one that when we enter, we can only enter love, though, through... I don't want to say that so absolutely. Let me rewire that whole idea. For me, love came through alleviating my fears or giving up those fears. Starting to live in a more love-based frequency came throughout me not being afraid to die. Once I stopped not being afraid to die, it actually gave me a profound sense of change in my energetic status to focus that energy that I was pent up on hate and fear and move it over to love. I know some people, they're not very good at doing that. And that sometimes could lead to a very bad outcome for them. But for me, it worked. It could be coming back to that idea of the divergent, like what Andrea said. But it's great that you're sharing your truths. I appreciate your super chat. I don't really have much to say back to that. One thing I can think of is when you're writing this word all so many times, it's making me think of the word the, and how the in Spanish is El, and how El is Saturn. Think about that. El is Saturn. It's crazy. My wife and baby tuning in. Jason, no. Why are you guys watching this with your family? You guys are amazing. No, you never howl. You always hum. When you hum, it sends energy down your chakra system, and then you could access. The kids are being enlightened. Whisper Media. Wow. That's really amazing. Whew. Amazing. Amazing. I don't know what to say. Okay, I'm moving on. So massacre, yeah, this idea of Mary equals Virgin Mary. So also that comes back to Maryland. Okay, so in the United States of America, we have Maryland and Virginia touching each other. And then we have separating that, the Potomac River, and the Potomac is the birth canal. And it's Virgin, like Virginia, Virgin Mary. Virginia, Maryland, Virgin Mary, which is separated by the vaginal canal of the Potomac River, and within that is Osiris's phallus, at Washington, D.C.'s capital. And that's all a vaccine is. A vaccine is the phallus of Osiris, shooting you up with his love. All right. So Sadiqa says, I followed your advice and started listening to solfeggio frequencies, and meditation has given me so much more clarity. Yeah. So Sadiqa, I did have a time in my life where I needed to like slow down my mind, and I needed to kind of get in a vortex. And when I did that, it was through basically listening to solfeggio frequencies every night before going to sleep. And I just listened to a playlist. Like I didn't overthink it. I just played the frequencies, and sometimes I would listen to some like Tibetan bowl, like I forgot the sound, like the sound bowls. Those are really amazing too. But I haven't listened to those in a while. Okay, let's see. Says Blake Ryan, I hope you're doing well. What are some of the best ways you can raise your vibration? Well, this kind of goes back to one of the ideas that I was sharing a little bit earlier of the way that you raise your vibration is stop consuming shit that lowers your vibration. Right, Blake? Like, people spend so much time seeking to raise their vibration when they're skipping step number 1. You can't go straight to fucking step number 2 if you haven't done step 1, right? So step 1 is cleaning house. You want to get all the bullshit out of your life that's keeping your frequency down. Turn off the TV, turn off the news, get off of Twitter. Like, if you have children or a girlfriend, like, look her in the eyes and tell her you love her, you know? Like, that's the shit that's going to raise your vibration. Like, people are spending so much time overthinking about doing fasts and meditations and yoga, but it's like, what if you're done with your yoga and then you go straight home onto fucking TikTok for 10 hours and then you turn on CNN and then you're just like, you're fucking destroying yourself, and then you think the yoga's helping. It's the same thing with diets. Diets are the same shit. Or exercise. People exercise. They go to the gym 5 days a week on a treadmill. Then they go eat fucking burritos and burgers, cheeseburgers and french fries. And they think they could just keep going to the gym and like make up for it. But you can't. You can't. Okay? So step 1 is clean house. Get the garbage out, get all the negative shit out of your life. Then you'll see your vibration will raise naturally. Then you'll be ready for whatever vibrationally aligns with you, okay? Because for me, fasting might work, but for you, it's not what works. Why? Because we're at different stages on our journey. So this is what I don't like about people who just like come out and they're like, well, you need to eat this way, or you need to do this form of yoga, or you need to do transcendental meditation. It's like, that's all bullshit. None of that matters, man. If you have a dirty system, if your car's transmission is fucked, it doesn't matter the quality of the gasoline you put in it. Think about it. So it's always about coming back and cleaning up house first. That's how you get things done. And then from there, everything just surfaces naturally. You know, you'll find your answers as you're going through that. Jonathan, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, some of you like have different names on Discord and on your YouTube channel, so I'm trying my best to remember everyone. I know it's hard for me. I have so many people trying to remember everyone. All right, I'm trying to just get to some questions. How long have we been doing this for? Has this been going on for like 2 hours now? Oh shit, exactly an hour and 59 minutes. How crazy is that? Oh shit. I was like, has this been going on for 2 hours? And then literally I look at the clock and it's an hour and 59 minutes. So 1 second. I really need to like drink some water. My throat is like, I'm dying for y'all. I'm just kidding. All right. $600 people. Amazing. Appreciate all of you guys for sticking around so long. Try to do some final kind of ideas before we move on. Yeah, Phonics 77. I'm more in the camp of our firmament is reflecting back the moon to us, and we are on the moon. My higher self tells me that's more likely what's going on here, and that the moon is not a separate entity floating around with us. I mean, just think about how silly it is. This is the number one thing I say to people that gets them to like shrivel up and die on the inside. When people try to talk to me about NASA, I just bring up this one thing. I tell them, go out and look at the moon. Okay. Now, when you look at the moon, you'll see the same face every single time. Okay. So how is it that NASA tells us we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, but somehow the moon always shows us the same face? Of course, if you're over there in New Zealand and Australia, it's the same face, just flipped upside down, which is another obvious problem when you have logic. So if we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour and we're seeing the same face of the moon, that would mean that the moon is also spinning in the exact same direction at the same exact speed with precision, and it has never, ever gone off trajectory. And when you tell that to the average person, their mind literally starts to dissolve and liquefy out of their ear canals. They don't know what the fuck to say. And I think that's a really profound thing to bring up, and it's very basic and very simple. And a lot of people will like peg you as a flat earther after saying that, but that's not what this is about. This is just about questioning what's right in front of our eyes. We're not overthinking shit here. We're just looking up, and there's a discrepancy. We're looking up, we see the face of the moon every month on every full moon forever, anywhere we travel in the fucking planet. And for some reason, we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Like, that's pretty amazing. So, yeah. It's definitely something people need to consider. If I was broke and I inherited $270,000, what would be your first move? Asking for a friend. I love when people say asking for a friend. You mean you? No, I'm just fucking with you, man. Honestly, if I had 270,000, I would put about 100 away for investing in the next bear market. Then I would put 70 of it away if I don't already have all my shit paid off. And then I would put the other 100 into the market. With a plan, with a strategic plan of getting the fuck out of the market at the right time. So, okay, so Sixth Cycle has sent me 6,100 what looks like yen. I really appreciate your super chat. I wish you had a question. Sorry that I couldn't answer that. If you asked a question earlier and you forgot to put the super chat in that one. But Sixth Cycle, I appreciate you. Much love. Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if our whole Matrix was holographic. So if the whole show is holographic, then it would make even more sense into the idea of the reflection of the Earth on the greater moon. Or sorry, the reflection of the moon on the... You get what I mean. You get what I mean. All right. What's going on? What's going on, chat? I don't really worry too much about solar flares or solar stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. It's fudded way too many people out. I've heard so many people talking about like putting all their money on a hardware wallet just because of a solar flare, and then like when they try to move it onto the hardware wallet, they fuck up and then the money goes lost. And I'm like, you see what you just did? By you getting too much in your emotions and getting so scared and like over preparing for a thing that is like, yeah, people spend way too much time in their heads. Like, go to your heart and you'll immediately be given your answers when the time is necessary. But I don't take any of that stuff into consideration because it's just news. Wow. I kind of want to answer this, but I don't know what to say. It says, what makes you want to live? For me, I'm not scared to die. I just don't know what is worth living for if everything is just an illusion. You know, that is a question that most people ask when they're not feeling too good, though, you know? So, but I will say this. I want to just be a profound leader in this matrix while I'm here. Like, I also believe that I've been here too many times. Like, I don't really necessarily prescribe to reincarnation, but I think like while like everything that I'm quote unquote learning seems to be stuff that I've always known and I'm just remembering it. Like, we're all suffering from amnesia of the truth of a life that we've already experienced many times ago. So, have you ever watched the movie Lord of the Rings where Gandalf the Grey dies, but then he actually just turns into Gandalf the White? Well, I'm waters above the white. Like, I have been there, done that, and now I'm back, and now no one's fucking with me. Like, once some parasite tries to get in my way, the robe comes off, the white shines through, and everyone just goes, "Oh, I can't fuck with that guy." That's where I'm at in this experience. So wouldn't you want to live a life where you're the one holding the staff? You know, like, think about it. It's just, it's almost like once you remember all the truths, now you could help people remember their truths, and then now it's compounding. You know, more and more people start to wake up through your awakening, and I believe that is that is the mission. That's the mission of why I'm here. And I know the money thing, like, it is important, obviously, to an extent, but I do try to remind people that the things that make people fail and suffer with money are typically because they're putting their emotion in all the wrong places. Leave your emotion for your life, for your reality. Don't get emotional in the markets. When you do that, you're able to actually play the market a lot better. I hope I didn't miss anyone's questions. Okay. Zenobio, it's $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It says, thank you for you. I'm new to your work and I definitely enjoy. Have you thought of the earth as an eyeball? Do you follow Santo Spinaci's work? Cheers. So I have watched a couple of presentations from Santos maybe like a year or so ago, but I haven't watched a whole bunch of his stuff. But what I will say is what I've watched, I resonate with, I respect. I've watched a little bit of his work kind of breaking down the Jesuits and Society of Jesus and talking a little bit more about the Illuminati. I thought his work on that was really stellar. So I'm friends with Logan. Well, I would like to call him a friend, but I consider him a brother, Logan, over at Decode Your Reality. And he works with Santos sometimes. And it would be easy for us to connect, I believe. I don't know if Santos is aware of my work. He might just not care about crypto. I don't know, of course. So I'm aware of Santos, and I would love to someday be able to have a conversation, and maybe he can spread some of his wisdom on what he feels is going on in the global financial sector as a whole. I would love to shoot the shit with him on that. No, I've never tried DMT. But I believe we can access DMT very easily, just naturally through food and through our meditations and just through our questioning of this reality. We probably, us, the type of people that are here right now, we probably have a slow drip of like DMT just dripping on our pineal glands. Like, like that's probably what's really going on here. Yeah, and if you're interested in decoding yourself, Logan would be the man. He's beautiful when it comes to helping people decode themselves. So I taught myself Gematria, but the first two people that I saw doing Gematria in regards to like new idea, like what's going on recently, would be that guy Zach, and also Logan. But I was really fascinated with Logan's work because he was using the string of pi. He was using the Chaldean mostly, but then also adding on the cards, the playing cards, tarot, periodic table. I mean, just going really like above and beyond. And I really respected that as a unique content creator. And then I kind of started messing around with it because I was just playing around with the Gematria calculator and crypto. And I started to see these connections. And then I took my years of study in other fields and I sort of just applied it to the Gematria and started to see that there was obvious energy here. And yeah, it's just all self-taught. Just playing around, having fun, like a child, like a child. When you're a child, you just go into the forest and you play with dirt and you start to figure shit out. And that's how I think learning is best. Be like a child. Just learn through play. And you will start to see you get some profound outcomes. So, another piece of wisdom there. Learn like a child. If you fuck up and touch the stove, just remember you fucked up and keep it moving. So Beta G says, I've heard that deep within the earth below the Bucegi Mountains in Romania is a holographic library left by an advanced civilization. Cool stuff. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. I actually wanted to go to Romania so bad the last time that I went to Europe, and I unfortunately couldn't go. And somebody I was speaking to before I went there was like, oh, you have to go to Romania. It's so cheap. And I was just like, that's so fucking first world. Like, to hear somebody take a whole country that has so much history, like so much beautiful architecture and beautiful nature, and just reduce it down to, you have to go there because it's cheap. That really shows you where people are at consciously. Somebody recommending you something because the prices are low, that only exists in the market. But a whole country, come on. Come on. Wow. Brian. No. Patrick Walters. Jeez Louise, man. You didn't have to do that. Wow. Oh, Patrick, I really appreciate that super chat. Wow. That's incredible. Much love to you, brother. If you have any question, drop it. I mean, I really hope I catch it just with so many people writing, but much love to you, brother. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate that. I almost feel like I should focus more on lives, focus more on live streams, because it seems to be people are resonating with this a lot. I enjoy making like 2 YouTube videos a week, where just real content, not just the same bullshit every single day, twice a day. I like having the less is more approach and then doing these live streams and being a human with everyone. An alien, human, divergent, wizard, wolf. So I appreciate you, Patrick. Thank you so much. Diggs says, no amount... Diggs, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, no amount of money can say thank you, but I will say thank you for all of your energies, love, and knowledge. You are helping us puff wolves understand more and more every day. Sending love and light to you and all. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think this whole family is beautiful. It's amazing to see it all come together. I am so excited for late October when Bitcoin is approaching new highs, and we're just, yeah, I mean, I could already imagine it, guys. I could see it in my head. I could already see the chart. The crystal ball is behind my eyelids. Richard Brown Price, the super chat says, love and appreciate your work. Can you speak to the idea of the upcoming wealth transfer? How big will it be? What exactly might it look like? Curious. So I think this question is great. I think it could help a lot of people. Yes. Okay. So here's where I'll go with this. We're already in the wealth transfer. It's been going on since the pandemic, particularly when March crash happened, okay? If we measure from the March crash upwards of the highs in May or April, you will see across the board 20 to even sometimes 100,000% gains in some of these altcoins. So on average, looking at around 10,000 to 20,000%. Of course, the top coins didn't make that huge of a move. But more importantly, I'm just letting you know that we are at the final moments of the wealth transfer. This is by no means just all gonna get easier from here, okay? This is the hardest part to navigate because this is the part that's the final moments, you know? It's like when you're in a game, like a basketball game, and you have the best player on your team is the guy you're gonna give the ball for the final shot. That's kind of like where we're at right now. The game is almost over, right? And this isn't a time to fuck up, but it's also not the easiest time to make up for your mistakes. So when you're in the beginning of the game, you have a lot more room for error. You have a lot more time to mess up because you have 4 quarters ahead. You have some time to catch up to the team that you're playing against. You feel where I'm going with this? So the wealth transfer is a very multi-dimensional and it's a period of time. So for people to open up their eyes to what's really going on here, people should have been dollar cost averaging into crypto over the last 2 years, and you would be reaping massive rewards today. You won't even give a shit about the end of the bull run because you could have already made life-changing money. So this wealth transfer is almost over, and that's why I keep wanting to help people. I want people to understand that this is it. We're close. We have until about mid-January. It's not a lot of time. Especially if you're somebody who doesn't have a job, you don't have a business generating cash flow, you're not doing anything with your life, you know. This is where you need to become the best version of yourself. How big will it be? This question of how big will it be? What exactly might it look like? It's all determining on how much effort you want to put in. It's not easy. This isn't just we're in a bull run, you're going to make $1 million. It's not how it works. There's going to be a rocky road in between here and there. So if I could give any advice, I would say that on average, if you get into any positions around the 236 Fibonacci retracement, upwards of the end of the bull run, you're looking at about a 6 to 8x across the board. So you could pretty much take a portfolio or any amount of money you have right now, and you can multiply it by 6 to give yourself a conservative number. And that's about what we could anticipate. Now, that's not me telling you what will happen. That's me trying to take wisdom and convert it into a number, which I don't like to do. But hopefully that helps some people kind of see what's possible. 600% upwards of 2,000% is absolutely possible at an alt season end of a bull run. It's when the stupidest investors start piling in. So all you're doing is selling your bags to the people at the top of the pile. It's when FOMO is in full, how would I say this? It's essentially the FOMO alt season retail bull run. That's coming up in December, Q4. Okay, trying to catch up. So many questions. It's amazing to see how long people have been hanging out in here. Miggy Wiggy, much love to you. Appreciate you. So yeah, I hope I got around to your question and answered it thoroughly, Richard. We're at the end of a wealth transfer. Now's the final moments. Don't waste your fucking time. Don't watch TikTok all day. Like, I've also told people in my mastermind community, you might want to consider, and this isn't me telling you what to do, but you might want to consider taking like a couple weeks off for the month, the end of December into early January, just to be 100% prepared for the end of what's going to come. It's going to be like a hypodermic needle top chart. Like, if you look at the charts, it's going to look like a hypodermic needle, just literally like a fucking cone, and it's going to lose 80% of its value in like 3 months. So you have only a couple days to get out of the market. Seriously. Very few people are going to be prepared for this because the masses are going to be following Twitter, and Twitter is going to be Elon Musk every day, fucking, fucking Kobe Bryant's dead Twitter account is going to be talking about buying Bitcoin. Like, fucking name a celebrity and they're going to be buying crypto at that time. That's where you just get the fuck out. That's where all these O-face YouTubers every single day are going to be saying Bitcoin's going to 300,000. Just remember, like, just keep buying. And they're going to fuck over a lot of people, man. It's going to be crazy. So I rather get everyone prepared for that now. Don't fall for this nonsense. Get out and let the Shemitah do its work, which we should want the Shemitah, because what the Shemitah does for people like us, sophisticated investors, is it allows you a buying opportunity to generate immense wealth. I mean, you just think about it. If you were going to take something like T-Fuel, where T-Fuel went up 40,000%, you could have put $1,000 into the market plus 40,000%, and you just generated almost $500,000. You could have done the same thing with Polygon, with Matic. You could have done that with a lot of coins. That's what the Shemitah will give us again. We should thank it. We should be happy for it in 2022. Yeah, I'm going to be working really... Jody says I'm going to need a babysitter for the month of January. You could probably afford one, Jody. Because if you're in Bitcoin, I didn't mean you couldn't afford one now. I don't know why I said that. I meant to say, like, it would be easy for you to afford one, because in December, when Bitcoin hits the all-time high, it'll be around the new moon December, and then you could flood out all that money and be sitting pretty nicely. Even through most of January. So that's going to be my play, of course, because I'm aware of how this market operates. It always has this blow off top for Bitcoin, while Bitcoin dominance is close to 60 or 70%, and then it just melts away. The Bitcoin dominance goes from 60 to 70% all the way down to like the low 30s. And during that time, it's insane, the amount of liquidity that goes into these altcoins. So I'm working really hard in October to develop my trading course, the advanced trading course. And then November, I want to focus more on obviously trading the market to the upside, but also preparing this community to get prepared for the final moments of when we initiate alt season. What is up, Awakening Chef? Much love to you, brother. Glad I saw your comment. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up very soon. Sorry you just woke up awakening. Sorry you just woke up, man. Missed this, but it'll be saved, so don't worry. You just on the Discord, the link will be there. Yeah, Lucas, I'm looking for 144,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, but I won't be mad if it goes higher. You know, like if it goes to 200, fantastic. You know, how funny would it be if it went to 210,000, right? Because if it goes to 210,000 right before the end of the 21st year in the 21st century in the 12th month, which is the mirror, and then on top of that, you have 21 million Bitcoins, and it's all about that 21 coming back to Saturn. Saturn is Satoshi. So, you know, 210,000 also makes sense. It's just when you look at the logarithmic growth curve chart, you see that 144K is the top around that new moon of December. So I'm not going to overthink it, you know. People lost so much fucking money in the last bull run because what happened to them was Bitcoin approached 20K. It didn't break 20K, and all of these YouTubers are talking about 30 to 40K after they were done telling people that it wouldn't go to 20K back when it was 2016. So it's like manipulation by these guys. They're trying to get catching people up on really big numbers because that gets people who don't know how to read the charts really excited. And then before it all went there, they had people on really low numbers to get people to not want to invest. You know, and it's just like it's too much. It's too much for people. That's why I like to just go with that 144,000 number because it's in the charts. The Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve chart has worked since the inception of Bitcoin, since the genesis, except for one time, and that was during the pandemic. That was the black swan of black swans. So, yeah. That's the only time. Now, could we have the same event happen to the upside where it goes to 210? Absolutely. That would be even better because that would be like an as above, so below ritual where you have like a black swan in both ways. You have an over exuberant cryptocurrency bull run to finish everything off. But people need to know that if Bitcoin goes from 144,000 down 40%, that 40% of market cap liquidity going into altcoins will create a very dramatic surge in the altcoins. And if it goes to 200,000, that's a lot of FOMO. So I wonder sometimes, do the elites just set sell walls at all-time highs like years in advance? Or are they letting it hit prices that they want and then just letting the FOMO pile up to push it even higher than they thought it would go? And then they set a sell wall to just finish it off, to just be like, drop the guillotine. You know what I'm saying? So the 144 thing to me is something that I'm sticking to. Again, I'm finding it everywhere. It's in Dogecoin, it's in Algorand, it's in VThor token. It's like this 144 number is so powerful. And I'm just going to stick to it because it's working really well in my thesis. No, Shemitah will not make XRP go up. XRP is probably going to lose 90% of its value in the next bear market. I don't care about ISO 20022. That's all just filling up your head with a bunch of diarrhea. Change the pamper. We got some mothers in here. You guys know how that is. So Dillip, $12 XRP would make sense. That's within my range. My range for XRP will be around $7.60 all the way up to $15. And 15 would be a super pump. That is a fuck ton of growth for a coin that hasn't yet to break price discovery. So that's why I feel that it could go all the way to 15, but I don't see anything higher than that. Now, if it does surpass 15, then it would naturally go to $22 to $23. And 22 would also sort of combine like this idea of Bitcoin possibly going to 210 because of the numbers, the ritual of the numbers. We would have XRP hitting an all-time high in January of 2022. And this could possibly happen on the 5th of January. and that would be the 1-5 date or the 51. And we know the importance of the number 15 and 51 with XRP. I've showed you guys that several times. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hit an all-time high for XRP on the 5th of January. And if it goes past the 15, it's probably going to go to 22. And 22, again, in the 22 year. And it'll be in the Hebrew year of 5,782, which is 22 when you add it all up. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's an insane pump all the way up that high, but I'm not betting on it. I wouldn't put all my chips into this idea. And I believe people should be happy even with a $7 to $8 XRP. Even if XRP only hits $7.60 to $8.60, it was the only coin that was this suppressed before making that sort of a move. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the few coins that is this suppressed. Besides, like, I mean, maybe Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum Classic. I don't know. There's a couple of OG coins that still have some room to go. But also, I'm more bullish on XRP than I am on XLM at this stage in the bull run. I think XLM is the worst looking chart out of the top coins, especially out of the coins that people give all this credit to for all the use cases and ISO 200, all that bullshit. XLM's chart looks like dog shit, and I will not be investing in that coin. So for people who are seeking to invest in a coin between those two, I would be way more keen on getting in on the XRP play than the Stellar Lumens play. Yeah, VeChain, I'm super bullish on. I don't want to talk too much about crypto though. Like, I don't know how we got here. we started talking about all this shit. No. Get out of here. Go away. All right. No, the new moon in December isn't the 14th. It's like December 4th. Is the new moon. So, Oro, my name is Jordan, and also, yeah, of course I'm familiar with Grand Solar Minimum. It's part of the food shortages issue that we're having in the world right now. It's also a big reason why China is overbuying grain, preparing for the inevitable, especially when you have a culture that used to eat plant-based, and now most of the people in the country are predominantly eating meat. They have the most unsustainable consumption rate. It's ridiculous. So it's also funny how people are saying like China's going to take over the world. Like, oh my God. Take over what? They're all Jesuits. They're friends with each other. What do you mean? War is bullshit. War is something where you just have a blood ritual between the people. That's all it is. The elites use war to clean house on parasites, and they look at us like the cockroaches. That's all it is. They're stealing our energy. They don't go to war with each other, though. They're all playing golf together. China and us are homies, dude. They love us. It's also funny people saying that Chinese will be the new world language. Yeah, okay. We'll have AI bots speaking to each other like telepathically. We'll have people that have they've uploaded their consciousness into the cloud so they could speak telepathically before any American is learning Chinese in our schools. Bet on that. English is the new world language, and it will be forever. It is the final language of Earth. Just like the US dollar was designed to be what it was, it's all a ritual. That's why on the back of the dollar is the all-seeing eye, the pyramid. Don't overthink this shit, guys. I see this, like I've seen a little bit of this chat today in the Discord. China isn't doing shit besides their role, and their role is globalism, which means that they're helping out our role because it's like a transformer. One is just the leg of the transformer, the other one's the other leg, the other one. It's like Israel is part of the transformer as well. People need to wake up to that. Their power is in the smallest amount of numbers. How do you think they maintain position? Go study how many Jesuit upper education, how many colleges, basically Jesuit universities are in China. It'll blow your mind. No, China's not banning anything. It's garbage. The one world language is English. And the one world money will be a one world money. It will not be a Chinese CBDC. Cyber Polygon won't hit in until 6 to 7 months after. So remember this idea of Event 201 and how Event 201 was back in like September or October of 2019? And then it took all the way up until February for it to be considered basically a pandemic. And then on like, what was it, March? Was it March 13th? March, I don't remember. I stopped paying attention to these dates because I just don't care anymore. But when it was declared a pandemic, it was officially around 6 months after Event 201. So it's the same thing with Cyber Polygon. Just take Cyber Polygon and add 6 months to it, and essentially you get to around February or March. And February or March is the time of me predicting when the stock market is going to essentially start to collapse. So into January, moving into February is when the first domino falls, which is the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency domino. And then that'll go into the stock market by February and March. Lucas is saying, no, I'm sure Jordan isn't Jewish. Yeah, I don't prescribe to a religion. I'm half Puerto Rican, so good luck on me being a Jew. Anyways. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't care about any of these. All these things people need to move on from. This labeling shit. Yeah, I don't care too much about quant. Quant's going up too much. I don't really care about stuff that's up. I focus on opportunities. So Crypto Healing says, how does the lawsuit play into the price as for Gematria? The lawsuit doesn't exist. It's make-believe. Everything that revolves around a court or law is theater, and everyone who's playing along with it in the SEC and the United States government as a whole and Ripple are part of that illusion. It is an illusion. Everything about courts comes back to Saturn, okay? It is all Saturn. You could study a little bit more into Jordan Maxwell's work if you want to learn more about that. So, yep, it's all nonsense. All of the court system is bullshit. All the lawyers are friends with all the judges, and all the people that are going against each other are playing golf together on the weekends. So, Spiral Master, the illusion of the SEC case will probably end, unfortunately, into 2022 during Shemitah, and that will bring some interesting changes to the market. I don't think it'll be anything like really awful or draconian. Like, I don't think stable coins are going to go away. I don't think any cryptos are really going to go away, except for the tech companies that can't survive Shemitah. So whatever tech companies get hit by essentially this crash, they're going to go under, and whatever coins that they were running are going to lose 80 to 95% of their 95% of their liquidity, and they might just go away as a company. That happened in 2018 as well, during the crash. BB says, brother, love what you do. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, also, while I have this many people here, I'm going to say something really quickly and then we're going to move on. So I have a lot of impersonators out there copying my work. I had somebody make a fake Instagram account of mine. I don't even use Instagram. I don't use WhatsApp. I don't use Twitter. I don't use any of that. Now, whenever you're hearing about me on other platforms besides it coming out of my mouth from this channel, or on Patreon or Discord, which you can only get into the Discord by being a Patreon supporter of the Mastermind community, it is not me if it's not coming from those two places. Those three places. So just know that, okay? I've been having a lot of people that have been following my work for months, and then they're telling me that they're talking to WatersAbove on WhatsApp. You're not talking to me. So sorry, but I don't know how people are falling for this shit. This has been going on for so long. Like, the comments section in YouTube is really easy to navigate, guys. If you see the bubble around my name, that's my channel. If you don't see the bubble around my name, it's not me. It's just somebody. There's like 30 people a day copying my channel. And I'm sure if you guys have other YouTubers you watch, you'll see the same thing. It'll be like pinned by WatersAbove or admin WatersAbove, or people even call it WatersAbove Crypto, like 100% the same. But when you click on it, you'll see they have no subscribers. And I don't have the time to sit around fucking, deleting every comment. That's impossible. So, it's better for most people anyways. If you're talking to that person on WhatsApp, 99% of the time, that person is trying to get money from you. So once that kind of shit arises, you should pretty much run away as fast as possible. Like, whether it's me or if it's, Bearable Bull or whoever, that kind of stuff is clearly a scam. Like asking for your phone number to then start discussing something with you to sell you a product. That's sorry. I mean, if it's happened to you before, if you've gotten scammed, I'm sorry, but you should know better by now because it's kind of obvious. So I just want people to know, like, the only way that you could hear directly from me is through my YouTube videos, obviously this channel, and then through the Patreon, which gives you, if you become a Mastermind community member, you can get access to our Discord, and I talk there. I've been trying to be there as regular as I can. Just want to really get that out there. I'll probably bring it up in a video soon, but I just don't want to waste too much time on a video discussing that. So there is no link to the Discord, William. The way that it works is you can join the Mastermind community, which I will link. Yeah, this fake Instagram account, you guys should all go fucking just all report that account. They even put my real YouTube channel inside of their Instagram, and then on top of that, they they put a fake Patreon account that does like, this person is a fucking parasite, dude. Like, the people that do this with their life, that just make fake accounts all day and then try scamming people, like, holy shit, dude. They're gonna come back to this earth 1,000,000 times in this exact time. They're just going to live in the pandemic over 1,000,000 lifetimes. That's all they're going to have. They're going to be wearing a mask 1,000,000 lifetimes, getting vaccinated 1,000,000. Like, that's all they're going to do. Like, they don't understand that they're going to lose so much. Yeah, it's bad. Well, I'm not sure, Lexi, if you're saying for me to not give any energy to it. Are you aware that I have hundreds of people emailing me saying that they're trying to talk to me on WhatsApp? Probably you don't have that going on for you, but I do. And I have people that are legitimate, good people who are getting taken advantage of. That's why I'm letting people know about it. Kind of have to tell, like, people about it, don't I? I don't know what you mean by don't give energy to it. It's kind of weird. I'm not giving energy to it. I'm trying to protect people from getting fucking scammed. So anyways, yep, that's the link to the Patreon Mastermind community. Greg. Greg. You caught me, Greg. He says, so you believe in reincarnation? I mean, I don't believe in it for myself, but I'm sure that that's going to be the process for people who keep acting like that while they're here in this matrix. Jody says that is actual hell reliving this shit. I was watching this one thing and like this, actually, no, never mind. No, never mind. If I talk about it, I'm going to be like going on forever. Anyways, family, we've been doing this for a really long time. It's about 2.5 hours, I think. I am going to head out. I appreciate all of your guys' support. Everyone's been incredible today. Thank you so much to Ian, Jody, and Sarah for moderating any nonsense that's come up. And I have so much love for you. Excited for any new people who are joining our mastermind community. The Discord is lit. Got like 1,700 people in there now. Family is growing. We have a lot of people working together on all the text channels. Even added a new prepper text channel. Again, I'm planning on adding that text channel for different countries to try to create threads for people to hopefully meet up with each other. Just because I know I have a bigger following globally now. And we have a lot of people that are trying to thrive, you know? So one of the things that people keep asking me is like, well, what do I do if my job wants me to take the jab or whatever? Well, what you might find is that I might have somebody in my community who lives in like Iran and they own their own business and they feel just like us and they're willing to employ you. And you just made this huge connection. That's kind of the way my mind's working with it. It's not like, I'm not trying to just know where, I don't really care. It's more about connecting everyone. So it's an idea I have. If you guys like that idea, I would love to know more about your thoughts. But I feel like times are changing and it'll be nice to have any of the wolves to be able to connect with each other in real life if